Yeah, really good win for us. Really good week all around. It's very humbling week, very emotional week with the game, the cancer awareness, and then the idea with the helmets was such a good idea. I mean, the kids really were excited about. It was a really good idea just for everything, but our kids really liked the idea. They really got to pick something that meant something to them. We had a really good week with the leukemia deal, and we raised a crazy amount. I challenged our kids to. We were trying to raise $2,000, and we raised a ridiculous amount more than that. So really, really good group of kids. Preparation was really good. Obviously, we felt like we got to move the ball and score points on offense, and our offense did that. The key, though, is we ran the ball. Kent's given up a lot of yards and points. They have not given up yards to tailbacks all years. The teams that have run have used their quarterback. Illinois used their quarterback. Ball State used their quarterback. So there was a concern for us. We don't want to run Gus 20 times to move the ball. So our tailbacks ran the ball, and our offensive line obviously did a great job. Once we got through the first quarter, the 98-yard drive kind of set the tone, and then we went 74 yards, then we went 82 yards. Those are big-time drives. Defense was fantastic, start to finish. They had a great week, really good week of preparation. We stressed them, crazy stressed them. This offense dismantled OU a week ago. OU did not slow them down the entire game. They kicked 4 field goals in the red zone. They turned it over 3 times, or that game's not even close. They had 488 yards, and our kids watched that tape, so it wasn't – I know, no one thinks Kent's very good. Our guys knew they were good, and obviously you saw it in the quarterback. Again, 2 weeks in a row we've defended really talented quarterbacks. The guy still has 75 yards rushing. He's a really talented kid. We did a great job on Rankin, who's a great back. He's run really well this year. We did a great job. We did a great job of getting stops. The best way for the up-tempo teams, we were talking just on the air of the radio, like we were running 8-9 plays on Tuesday, Wednesday, and our kids are dying. And we're trying to put them how it's going to feel when they go on these drives and you can't get off the field and you can't sub because they're going fast. And we stopped a couple of drives. I said, you guys feel how you feel right now. You know how important it is to get 3 and outs. Like, if you have a chance to get off the field on 3rd down, you got to get off the field, because if you don't, you're going to feel like this. And we've seen other teams look like this on tape where they're just staggering around and can't tackle and can't cover. So getting all the 3 and outs we did and all the stops, and they handled the tempo stuff, and we took away a couple of their bread and butter plays. They tried to throw their sting, which they like to throw 10 times a game, and every time they ran it, one of our guys wrecked it. It was almost interceptions or tackles for loss. So kids really had a good feel for what they were doing and did a nice job. So it was I'm pretty hard to please. It was a pretty dang good game. I don't have a ton of complaints by how we played today.
Questions?
How important do you feel it was that you finally get a home win this year? I mean, obviously you were close, but you finally pulled it out, and then you put together a good performance on top of it all.
I guess I don't understand the question. How important is to get a home win? Yeah. I don't know. It's important to get any win. We're trying to win every week, like home win, road win. Like, it's important to get a conference win. It's important. We're 3-0 against the East. Obviously, we got probably the 2 teams predicted to win the league still on the schedule, so we got plenty of work left. But it's important to win conference games, home or road. But I like winning everywhere. I'd like to win every home game and every road game. So,
Mike, right here.
First quarter, intermittently we're get a chunk play here and there, but weren't able to string it together. How do you feel about field possession through that first quarter, how it might have played?
Yeah, again, our offense moved it some. I was really pleased with our defense. They start fast because teams aren't used to their tempo. So they've had leads. They had a big lead against Illinois. They had a big lead against Ohio. So it's just hard. And usually teams kind of settle into how fast they're going. So I was crazy pleased with the defense. I thought we were going to move the ball and score points on them. I wasn't that. We won like we were getting stuffed. We moved it some, but we didn't necessarily score. And then we started that drive at the end of the first quarter. We get the ball on the 2 and we go 11 plays, 98 yards. Then we go 10 plays, 74 yards. Then we go 11 plays, 82 yards. And those are hard drives. And like last week, like the week before, like our offense is executing at a really high level. They're making really good decisions, starting with 14. Obviously, is the main decision maker. But we've been able to drive the ball, which is very difficult to do, and put together some nice long drives. And if you have that, if you have the penalty, if you have the turnover, if you have the drop pass, those drives get stalled. So really, since conference play has started, our offense is really executing at a really good level. They're in a good rhythm. They look good out there. You feel, I don't know how you guys feel. I just feel like, even though we didn't start great today, I just felt like, hey, we're gonna drive and we're gonna score points. It's hard not to have some confidence in those guys right now.
Did you feel pretty good about being able to run the ball? Because once again, it seems like when you're able to run the ball, you're really able to do a lot of other things fall in place. And along those.
Yeah, no, I know. We ran for 295 against a team that had, like I said, haven't given up a lot rushing. They've given up a lot throwing, and we've run the ball really since Minnesota. We've run the ball really well, and it's a key to our offense. We want to run the ball and play action. And if you don't run, the play action is not very good. But our play action was good again today, and we've been very efficient throwing the ball. We haven't thrown the ball a ton, but we've been very efficient throwing the football.
Coach, I noticed the timeout right before the end of the third quarter. Did you want Sloman kicking in that direction?
Yeah, just a win. It wasn't a huge win, but there was a win. There was no reason. It was going to be 4 seconds, so there's no reason not to let him kick with the wind, and more probably mental than anything. Sloman's got a crazy strong leg, so we just want to kick with the wind. That was the only idea behind that.
The sequence at the end of the game, I'm sure you're upset that the defense wasn't able to secure the shutout, but sort of what got you so fired up there at the end?
I was fired up at the end. I don't recall that. I don't know. I'm usually fired up the whole game, so yeah, I probably can't comment without getting in more trouble than I'm in right now by commenting on why I was fired up at the end, so I'll just leave it at that. One more.
How do you feel about the, with things developing the way they have, no Garner, and that, does it seem like the receiving core, or as you've structured it, is making some progress to keep your pass game viable?
No, we certainly would love to have James. We've thrown the ball crazy better without James. It has nothing to do with James, but has to do with how we're playing, and we're running the ball, and we're running our play action. So our pass game, if you go look at the stats, the 3 games he played or the 4 games he hasn't played. So we're doing a nice job. I think the offensive coaches are doing a really good job, but like you guys talked about earlier, the running game is the key for us, because we're a run-oriented play-action team. We get the run game going. Our play-action game is usually pretty good, and we take advantage of it, and I think we've structured them with good things. But I think, obviously, Jack's been great all year from the Marshall game. He's been lights out, so he's played fantastic. Obviously, Luke's always been a good player, always makes plays for us, and he continues to make plays. And then, obviously, the last few weeks, getting Dom involved and as kind of another guy that we need we probably need one more guy, and Dom stepping up. And then us using our backs. We throw a lot of ball. Those backs, those are good players. So that's – and our tight ends too, Homer and Beck, and Beck's finally got a cast off, so we can actually use him in the pass game again. It's been kind of put him out there. Everybody knew we were running. He was pass protected. Like, they knew he wasn't going out. Not that we never passed when he had a cap, but they knew he couldn't catch it. So we have enough. It's not just the receivers with Beck and with Homer and with Hardy, and then obviously with Kenny and the boys in the backfield. Those guys are all good receivers, and we use them flexed out. And so it's definitely, like what I was saying, you don't make up for James with one. We don't have another James. All right, we don't have. Most people don't have one. We had one. We were excited to have one. He's a ridiculous, great player, and so now you make up for it with 11 guys, and we've done a really nice job. And again, we've thrown around pretty good.
I imagine it's really good to have Kenny back, because he gives you so much. That pass that he caught down near the goal line, solid.
Yeah, no, and he just, cup his runs. There's little seams, and some guys are getting 4-6 yards, and Kenny's getting 20-30 yards, and obviously he's a great receiver. And no, it's a huge, he got hurt in Cincinnati, and we really didn't see him from Cincinnati till last week, and then he comes back, and you realize, maybe they didn't. We don't complain about the injuries, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal when Kenny Young's not playing. Then you had having Tommy Doyle back. No one pays attention to right tackle. It's a big deal. He's a big piece of what we're doing, and why we run the ball. Well, big right 6-7 right tackles back, and we did a nice job when he wasn't in there. But you want to have your best bullets. Today we did a great job on defense. We lost Josh Allen the first series of the game. He's been 3.5-year starter, and we plan on playing the whole game like he always does. And you lose him right away, and then we lose Demo in the third quarter, and A bunch of guys, Brady stepped up, and Mike Brown stepped up, and Darius stepped up, and then Sterling Weatherford comes in, gets a pick, and so we're still hurting and have some good players, not player, but we're playing better football, and if you play good football in this league, you got a chance. If you don't play good football, you don't have a chance. So we got to keep playing good football.